My headphones? No, they're good. It's up. Yeah, it's off.
Check 1, 2, 3. You hear me?
Yep, I can hear you loud and clear.
Sweet. All right, let me just pull up my notes while people hop on. I have this thing where when I sit down, my shirt sleeves scoot up. Do you have that problem?
Yeah, I do. Mine does.
Drives
that
me
too.
nuts.
The computer won't open a new window. Maybe back to doing it on my phone. That's okay. At least I can have the chat up.
Oh, for your list?
Yep.
But you can access the drive still.
I can, but it's not pulling it up in a separate window.
No, I mean you can access the drive on your phone.
Yes.
Yeah, so you still have it.
Yep. Yes, sir.
All right, people hopping on?
I said that, then all of a sudden it came up, but that's okay.
Yeah, no peeking in my list.
I won't pick at your list.
Okay. Can I borrow the remote? I want to play for a bit while we're
Yes. Go ahead.
getting ready.
The podcast is up too.
Yep, everything's up, man.
All right, give me just 1 second, and then we will start this off.
This star drives me nuts for the people that are just getting on.
Sorry, I messed it up.
You messed it up. What? Oh, yeah, I know, because you hit the thing. If you swim right when you hit it, you can get up there without having to do... Oh, my goodness. Without having to do this.
I
This is
haven't really
not...
figured out how to tell how many people... Oh my gosh, I clicked it too many times, apparently. I haven't figured out how to tell how many people are actually on our stream at the time being. Oh.
What?
But there are people here.
Hello, people.
What's up?
No.
Okay, I got it. All right. Should I start this off?
Yeah, let's do it.
Let's do this. All right. Welcome to the 10th.
11th.
Oh, psych. We're learning how to count still. The 11th podcast and stream.
11th episode.
11th episode, yes.
Still just one podcast.
And yeah. And this one is on underrated movies. We kind of carried it on from last one where we did underrated things. And we felt like while we're on the topic of underrated, we would shoot for the movies. So welcome, everybody. And it looks like we already got some friends on the chat here. We got Nick Foles. Oh, man. The amount of time that baseball player takes out of his day to come and...
He's a golfer, dude. Nick Foles.
Oh, that's cool. He can do so many sports. He said, "What's up, boys?" And then Annabelle, or as we may all know as Alicia Annabelle, is saying, "Ayo, I'm playing Red Dead right now, and my daughter just turned off the console." Cry face. That sucks. Red Dead's awesome. I need to get more into that game for sure.
For those on the podcast, when I just screamed, "No!" We're playing Super Mario, and I'm actually finally playing. And I am not doing well. I'm trying to get a star in the sunken ship, and I hate this star. So.
Well, if I would have taken over from last time, then...
Well, if you would have done it right last time, we would have already had the star.
Okay.
I'm just letting you know. It's your fault. Anyway, and
then now we got You Into Mike that just popped on. Supportive dad here. he said. Thanks, Dad.
Thanks, Dad, for supporting us. Cool. Well, for those of you that don't know, we're even though we've already said it, we are counting down our. Oh my gosh, I fell again. We're counting down our top 10 underrated movies. Last week with Diego on here, we did just underrated things, and there were so many underrated movies that were like, we should do this should be its own episode. So today, Jordan and I are counting down the top 10 underrated movies so you don't have to. And I got a feeling that there will be a lot of differences between our lists, which is good.
Yeah,
Variety.
I think it's going to be pretty.
I'm sure we'll have one or two of the same.
Maybe. I'm curious. I really am curious because I do have quite we like the same movies, but like as for like favorites and like stuff like that, I feel like we're not always on the same boat for like tops.
No, I definitely don't. Well, we got pretty close with the Alien movies had some crossover, and Adam Sandler had a lot of crossover.
Yeah. I guess that's true. But I'm thinking like
Is Adam
movies as a
calling
whole.
you right now?
No, my watch is just being.
Oh, okay. I was just like, he would know we're on here. So
When you have a second gen Apple Watch,
mm-hmm.
it tends to get glitchy because I'm like 15 gens behind by now.
Okay.
But
well, let's get started, man, because we always end up going pretty far over on the top 10s because we end up talking about them a lot, and it's just a fun conversation. So maybe we get rolling.
Sounds good. And for everybody on the podcast, if you hear us get frustrated, it's still frustration because of Mario 64. So that's the game we're still playing.
And even though this one was supposed to be easier for us to play and talk at the same time, it's still just hard because we want to keep the podcasters engaged and the Twitchers engaged. And it's a little bit harder than we initially thought. So when we have 3 people on here, it always goes a little bit better. But
we're going to do our best.
We'll do our best to entertain the troops, the kids.
So,
all right, man, you're leading this one. So how do you want to do it? I definitely say we start at 10, right?
We're going to start at honorable mentions. I'm just kidding.
Oh,
just a joke.
Just spoilers already.
All right. Well, I'm going to start at 10, and
oh crap.
My 10th is Transporter 1, 2, and 3.
Transporter 1, 2, and 3. That's cheating.
Now, I knew you were going to do that. So I said if I had to choose my 10th out of the 3, it would be the first one. Love the movie. Feel like it's underrated. It did all right on Rotten Tomatoes. It got 54%.
Okay.
Which,
that's what I'd expect out of that movie.
Yeah.
I've never seen it.
Oh, really?
I've never seen any of them, so that's a good pick.
I love Transporter, and I'm really into like car movies and shows.
Mm-hmm.
And I also think Jason Statham, who stars in it, is just kind of like, in my eyes, like a total BA. He's just a boss kind of thing. But
I think he's kind of overrated.
Well, then he's perfect for this.
Well, he kind of plays the same. He's overrated, not underrated.
Oh, right.
I just think, and to be fair, I haven't seen it. Okay, so I don't think it's fair of me to judge it too quickly. But that being said, I just think he's kind of plays the same person in every
He
film.
does. I just think he does a good job doing it. I agree with you.
Yeah.
I think he kind of only has like one act,
Yeah.
like one type of role. But I think that he does a good job with that role.
Yeah.
Personally. And who's all stoked for Meg 2?
Okay, was Meg good? Did you see Meg?
Yeah, I did. And it's obviously like, kind of the fake show to you. The fake movie, you know what I mean? Like
no, I don't know.
I mean, like fictional, like you're like this is.
Oh, it's like science
this would
fiction,
never happen,
fiction?
but they make it look like megalodons or like that could be. I don't know what I'm trying to say there. I guess, but
well, megalodon's a real thing. But yeah, you mean Yeah, it's just a
right.
little bit
It's
over
just
the top.
exaggerated, right?
Yeah,
But
okay.
I actually enjoyed the show, the movie.
Okay.
And I'll probably end up watching the second one at some point, but
I guess
not
I
like
need to-
something that I'm like, I need to do it now.
I guess I need to watch it then, because have we done this one? These boxes, this star. Do you know?
I haven't.
Yeah, we'll find out then.
We have somebody that just joined the chat, first time joiner. It's the Walk DZ.
The Walk Deezy. What's up, man?
I'm not sure who you are, but awesome. Thanks for joining us.
Yeah, we did get this star.
They said guest stars are fire, and then can't wait for Slaughterhouse.
Slaughterhouse.
It says Slaughter, but maybe it was supposed to be Slaughterhouse. And then Nick Foles said Meg 2 looks terrible in the best way. Exactly.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it.
I agree. It's like those. It's like all the movies that they do on sharks, like Sharknado and Sand Shark.
I have not seen any Sharknadoes.
Awful.
I think those are
Awful.
even worse though. That's like a new level of low.
Yeah, it is.
Meg,
But I've watched them anyways.
I can get into. I feel like I could get into Meg though. Like, don't clip that. But I feel like I could get into the movie Meg, and it would be. I think it'd be a movie I'd jam with.
Okay. Yeah. I'm sure you might.
I mean, I love sharks. Love ocean stuff.
Yeah.
So, well, cool. Let's keep moving along. So I will give my number 10. My number 10 it actually has 2 titles. It was on our poll. But I have, it's called What If in America. I think in the UK they called it the F word. So I put the F word on our poll. It stars Daniel Radcliffe. Here, Jordan, I'll let you take over this. I'm just trying to get coins, just getting 100 coins. So just go around and try and get coins. So it stars Daniel Radcliffe, or some of you may know him as Harry Potter. Zoe Kazan, I think is how her last name is pronounced. Adam Driver, and this is a young Adam Driver before he was in the Star Wars franchise. He's hilarious in it. And Mackenzie Davis. Really, it's a really funny, sweet rom-com that I was pleasantly surprised with. It's a little bit, it's more of a chick flick. In fact, a couple of mine on here are chick flicks, and I like chick flicks. I can dig chick flicks, and I think there's some chick flicks out there that just get missed because people just don't want to watch chick flicks, and so the husband vetoes it, or one of the partners vetoes it, you know. So I loved that one. I thought it was really funny, and it's basically about Daniel Radcliffe plays this guy who he befriends Zoe Kazan's character, and he finds out she has a boyfriend. And he likes her. He's like, oh, I think I found, but he finds out right at the beginning when he meets her that she has a boyfriend. And it basically is him hanging out in the friend zone forever. And the movie proves that there's no such thing as a guy friend. So not a hot take.
I haven't never even heard of it. So,
but it's on Amazon Prime. I highly, highly recommend it. I think it is a fantastic movie. So that's my number 10.
All right. Awesome. There you go. I don't know why I'm doing way worse than last time. I couldn't even get my screen set up. My ninth would be Emperor's New Groove. And I know this is kind of conflicting because it got an 86 on Rotten Tomatoes, which is high. So that's kind of makes it like,
well, I think we should clarify.
Movie.
I think we should clarify. So, I think it's fair to say that underrated can mean a lot of things. It can be highly rated, but a lot of people just may not have seen it.
Right.
I think it can also be underrated because it got rated very poorly on Rotten Tomatoes. I think that's a fair assumption too. Yeah. And then I'd also say sometimes it's just, what was the other underrated that I thought about is like, oh, people give it a bad rep. People are like, this movie is terrible, but you're like, it's not that bad. It's actually pretty awesome. And chill out.
Yeah.
So it doesn't always, just because it has a good Rotten Tomato score, I don't think that means. I actually have one of mine on here has a super high Rotten Tomato score. So
one of mine on here has like super low. So I'm curious what the highest and what the low is.
okay,
out of
that'll
all
be a
of them
fun one.
are.
We'll see. We'll
At
find
the
out
end
which
here.
one. Okay, so what is it?
What I'm saying,
it's Emperor's New
real
Groove.
quick, it's Emperor's New Groove. It's stars David Spades, John Goodman, and Eartha Kitt
Is that,
as Yzma.
Yzma, she's in Holes. She's the what's the name of the lady? Chat, drop it in. I feel like Carson will get this one, but she's the one that he has to sing to, the weird witch lady. What's if only the woodpecker sighs, the bark on the tree is soft as the sky.
Oh, that's her?
Yeah.
Madame Zeroni.
Madame Zeroni.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's awesome. I
Madame
didn't
Zeroni.
realize that. That's way cool. Well, the reason I put it in there is mainly because of Disney. I feel like it didn't get the exposure that it should have got. It is so good and so funny, and we've watched it a million times. And I was at Disneyland with my family. Matt can attest; he was there.
I am part of your
and
family.
we were collecting the little pins that you do, and there was that was cool. I don't even know how to do that. But there was the only thing I found on Emperor's New Groove in the whole park was one pin that said squeak squeakity squeak squeakin'.
That's it?
Yep.
Yeah.
I didn't find any other thing. I was looking through pins. I'm like, that's my goal. I want to find some Emperor's New Groove stuff, and I couldn't.
Disney's
other than
throwing
that
too
one
much
pin.
shade, man.
Huh?
Disney's throwing too much shade for Emperor's New Groove, not
Oh.
giving it the love
And they
it
don't have any
deserves.
characters walking around for it.
Well, to
I
be
mean-
fair, a llama would be a little tough.
No, wouldn't. Just put it in a little,
They
put-
can do it.
walk it around there, Yeah,
They could do a live action llama.
exactly. But yeah, I still thought the pin was cool. Unfortunately, I didn't buy it because it was expensive, and I'm not into buying them. I'm fine with trading them.
I think the reason Emperor's New Groove didn't do well. Okay, so it didn't make my list, and here's my reasons why. It did really well on our poll. So one, I don't think it's that underrated if it's crushing it on polls, and I think a lot of people point to that movie and they're like, "That movie's amazing." I rarely see people that are like, "Oh, that movie's terrible." Like I've never met anybody that's been like, "That movie's terrible." So
I think to most people that have seen it, they're like, it's way good. It's way funny. It's just, I feel like Disney doesn't let it have its fame.
Well, here's what I think happened. Toy Story came out right around that time, and there was like three big Disney films that were going 2D, that were still hanging in that 2D realm when Pixar was doing all their amazing animation, and it was going into this 3D space. And it was three fantastic movies that I think all got overlooked. You have Emperor's New Groove. You have Atlantis, another great overlooked Disney movie.
I wish I would have added that one. That one is
It's in my honorable
underrated
mentions.
too. Well, I'm gonna add it to my honorable mention.
Okay. And then I don't think I'm gonna be able to get these 100 coins without opening the bomb thing to shoot up and get the red stars, unfortunately. So I might have to. That's frustrating. I went to 88.
There was one
So where?
in that shell.
No. There's one in the
There's
show.
something in there. I'm pretty sure.
They already got it. Ooh.
There was something in it. But anyway.
Okay.
sorry,
Anyway, the
continue.
last one. Oh, you're right. There was another.
Oh, 90.
Oh.
Come on.
I don't think I can get it though without the 3. Anyway, so the other one was Treasure Planet, which is also a fantastic Disney movie that got overlooked. It's basically just Treasure Island in space, but it was really good. I thought that movie was fantastic. So I think because Toy Story was so big and they're like, this is the new way of animation, it just didn't get the hype. I think the last big 2D Disney movie that got the hype was Tarzan, which I think is actually a little bit overrated. I think the soundtrack's just so ballin' that everybour's like, it's amazing.
Yeah.
But
Jinx.
anyway, yeah, good pick.
Real quick, Nick said Eartha Kitt was also Batwoman at one time.
No way.
I didn't know that. So that's way
Batwoman? Is there a Batwoman? I thought there's just Catwoman. Is there a Batwoman? That's cool.
Well,
I'm
Nick
not
Foles
nerdy
says
enough.
there is.
Drop it in the comments. Well,
And then he says that pin that I was looking at was $11. Obviously, you're looking everywhere else but Disneyland.
yeah, on the property.
Yeah. It is not $11 and would never be $11.
And churros shouldn't be $18.
Yeah.
But the turkey leg is like $3.
He said, sorry, Catwoman.
Okay, Catwoman. I was like, maybe there was a series with Batman where it was Batwoman. I don't know.
Lame Astronaut said, Tarzan is amazing.
Okay, it's good. I just think it's
like it.
little overhyped, and I think Phil Collins just like blew it out of the park with that soundtrack and I think people were just a little bit more into it because of that. So
For sure. Because, the second one was not good at all, in my opinion.
I haven't seen the second one. I didn't even know there was a second one.
Well, it's just
He goes
Tarzan
to
has
New
a
York
kid,
or-
or something. I don't know.
Oh
Something
yeah,
like
because
that.
she stays there.
Uh,
Okay.
Yeah, I don't remember. I don't know. Obviously it wasn't good enough for me to
Yeah.
stick.
Okay, moving along.
Yeah.
Sorry. Number 9 for me. This is another chick flick. My first 3 are chick flicks. Is
Your
music
last 3.
my last 3 on my list. First 3 on. It is going to be music and lyrics. Have you ever seen music and lyrics? Or you can try and get somewhere. You can exit the level.
Say
even if you want.
say the actor's name.
So it's got Hugh Grant in it and Drew Barrymore. And basically,
I have seen that one.
Hugh Grant is this 80s, washed up 80s musician. And he basically, they play on like he's like in Flock of Seagulls or Duran Duran, like their own, and they make fun of it. And the music is great. The music, they like wrote music for this band that he was in the 80s. And it's just spot on. It reminds me a lot of like New Order and Duran Duran. I loved it. Loved the music. It was super funny. Obviously, the soundtrack was legit. And I think it's just kind of overlooked. It had a 63% on Rotten Tomatoes. Oh, and the what if or the F word, I forgot to say, had a 74% on Rotten Tomatoes. 63, okay. So I think it's fair. I just think it's kind of underlooked when you look at chick flicks. I would definitely put that in my top 5 of best chick flicks. I just think it's really, really good. So that's my number 9.
Sweet.
Have you seen that one?
Yeah, I have seen that one. Yeah, and it is good. I like it. I enjoyed the watch.
Okay.
I could watch it again because I think I've only watched it once, and I don't even remember when. But I mean, I remember it being pretty good.
Yeah, I thought it was.
I kind of mixed it up with. For some reason, I immediately thought of the one with Jack Black.
Oh, the holiday.
Yeah.
When we do Christmas movies, for those of you that are still listening, when we are doing our Christmas movies in December, that one I guarantee will make my top 10. Guarantee. I love that movie. So that is a good one. And he plays like a composer and stuff, so it kind of
He's such a poser.
Kind of makes sense. No, a composer.
I know.
He's a composer. No, I got it. Jack Black. Don't ever dog that man. He's a gift, a God-given gift to this world.
He
Jack
is.
Black.
Yes,
So.
I agree.
All right, cool. What's yours? Oh, wasn't paying attention.
Okay, my 7th is one we've actually talked about in Adam Sandler movies. Bulletproof. I watched it for the first time this year, and I was dumbfounded that it was only got an 8% on Rotten Tomatoes. But I kind of get it because it was like one of his really early ones, and Adam Sandler gets kind of beat up when it comes to...
Yeah, we kind of talked about that on the Adam Sandler
Yeah.
episode, right? He just gets reamed by the critics, and he's really great. So
Yeah, but I did find out the other actor's name, so it's Adam Sandler and Damon Wayans. And
oh yeah, one of the Wayans brothers.
no, Wayans.
Wayans. He's a Wayans brother, dude.
Wayyan.
Yeah, he's a Wayans brother. Like, they're all like pretty.
Like Batman's brother?
Yeah, like Bruce Wayne's brother.
Oh yeah. That's right. It's kind of interesting.
Yeah, he's a Wayne's brother. Okay, all right, sorry.
But we kind of talked about that one, so we don't need to go too far into that one. Really
okay.
good movie though, in my opinion, and I'm flabbergasted that it got overlooked so much.
Flabbergasted, huh?
Yeah.
Okay. So my number 8, again with the chick flicks. I know, but it's a chick
Calm
flick
down
I like.
now, jeez.
Chick flick, I love it. And actually this one's a little deeper than a chick flick. About Time. Have you seen that one?
Give me the actors again. About
Okay,
Time.
I'm gonna butcher this because it's an Irish actor, and it's I think the way it's pronounced is Domhnall Gleeson. Domhnall Gleeson. He is in Harry Potter. He's the oldest Weasley brother. I don't know if that helps some people. And then Rachel McAdams, and this one's basically about how you didn't really. I guess we talked about Bulletproof, but this one's basically here. I was just gonna go to this level and try and find all the. I almost got that bunny right away. I was just gonna go to a level and start doing some stars. The upper ones are kind of hard stars to do here. This one, Bully the Bullies, is if you get to the platform over here on the right where there's all the like bombs that try and push you off. If you push them all off, a star comes on. So it's a good one to go to. Anyway, About Time. It's really actually it is a chick flick, but it's really deep. It's pretty thought provoking, and I think it kind of makes you appreciate the important things in life, like family. And basically, it's about this guy who on his, I believe it's his 21st birthday, all the men in his family get the ability to time travel. So they have this ability where they can. That was bad, dude.
Well, I couldn't figure out how to grab.
It's okay. You kind of hit him off on this.
Oh,
you can't
okay.
like pick him up. He gets the ability to time travel, and it's like he meets this girl, and he's trying really hard to like land her through time travel, what you think is it's just kind of this fun little movie about time travel and him getting over this girl, but it really gets in deep with like I don't know, existentialism a bit, and like just like what is the meaning of life. Ooh. I was dogging you.
That's one way to get there.
I got there.
Get those coins real quick.
So yeah, that's my pick.
I like it.
It's really good. I highly recommend it to anybody who hasn't seen it. And
I can't say
think it's
I've
on
seen
Netflix.
it currently, but it sounds familiar, like I have, but I don't know for sure. I'd have to like see the cover probably. Lame Astronaut says Little Nicky is an underrated movie. Speaking of Adam Sandler movies, so and I agree, but it's okay to be underrated too. It's like it's great. It's a great one, I loved it.
I'm
but
learning
it's like it only attracts those few people that want it.
I'm learning that Lame Astronaut has great taste in music, but we are not the same when it comes to movies. Because I disagree with her on almost all the movie points.
He probably doesn't want to be the same as you, so
well. I was just hoping to make a new friend, but we're not gonna be able to watch movies. Anyway, so what's yours?
Mine goes up to iRobot with Will Smith.
Oh, iRobot, that's a good one.
Yeah, Bridget Moynihan, and Bruce Greenwood, and Shia LaBeouf, even though he's in it barely.
I love his character though.
And that's why I listed all of those, because he's the one part where he's like, Will Smith keeps telling him like, quit swearing, you suck at it, you know?
Yeah, that's super funny.
And then
go home.
Yeah. His name's Farber in it. I didn't even know that.
Shia LaBeouf's character?
Yeah.
That is
Farber.
a good one. I do think that's a little underrated.
And that one rated 56 on Rotten Tomatoes. And my other favorite part of it's when he's like, you are the dumbest smart person I have ever met.
Oh, yeah. That is pretty funny.
I love that. So, yeah, awesome action movie. Cool concept, in my opinion. I really like that concept. Plus, I'm a pretty big Will Smith fan, personally.
Prior to the slap?
Both. I don't. I mean, it is what it is to me.
Okay. That's a good one. I'll do my next. My seventh one is finally not a chick flick. It is a movie that actually has, I think, will have the highest Rotten Tomatoes score. So it has a 91% on Rotten Tomatoes. So this movie is, I bet a lot of people know it, but I think a lot of people haven't seen it.
The cartoon, right? Luca,
You gave it away.
Oh,
I
sorry.
hadn't said it yet. You reading
Sorry,
my
man.
list.
I did.
You said you wanted to read my list.
I was reading this. And then I looked to make sure I was like following, and I messed it up. I'm so sorry. I did read it, but I thought it was said because I wasn't paying enough attention because I was looking at the chat. That was totally my bad.
Okay, yeah, it's Luca. Thanks, dude.
Sorry, man.
For ruining my...
I won't do it again.
Yeah, whatever. So, yeah, it's Luca. Luca, I think because of COVID, it went straight to Disney Plus, and I think just a lot of people... Disney Plus was still pretty new at the time, and this Pixar movie deserved more than that. It was a phenomenal movie. It had just super cool storyline, great characters. It's really sweet. It gets you in the feels like any Pixar movie would, like what you'd expect. But yeah, I loved it. I love Luca. It was just sweet, fun, colorful, full of friendship. And if you haven't seen Luca and you like Pixar movies, just trust me, go watch it. It's so good.
It really is.
It's a beautiful film.
Yeah, it was so good. I was so excited to give it up for Matt. So, and again, I'm sorry. But Nick keeps saying that the Boyle the Bullies is further north, my guy.
Oh, it's not these two? Yeah, it is. It is this one.
Okay.
Oh, we'll find out. I'm probably never going to even be able to do this one. I swear if you hit these two, you get the star right there on the side of the platform.
I wouldn't know, but that looks like it would be it.
But he may know more. I mean, Carson does know more when it comes to this game.
Well, you got this. You got this time.
I'll do the
Who stars in Luca?
It's some young actors. So it's Jacob Tremblay, maybe Jack Dylan Grazer, and Emma Berman. So
I don't know any of them, but cool.
Yeah, so really good. I love that movie, and I highly recommend it.
Awesome. My next one is Behind Enemy Lines with Owen Wilson.
Oh yeah, that's a great one.
Yeah, such a good movie, but definitely overlooked and underrated because it's so overlooked. I feel like it's not a common talked about movie.
It's not a traditional Owen Wilson movie.
That's
either.
true too.
He only says "wow" like 82 times in that film, rather than his traditional 400.
That's true. And that one got a low score, 37%, and I was kind of surprised by that one too. I thought he did a great job, and it was a good, actiony war movie. I guess it wasn't full on war movie, but you know what I'm saying.
Yeah. Is
that the Bullies one?
Yeah, he's right. He's right.
Okay.
But I couldn't even get the 2, so who's gonna say I'm gonna get these 3 bullies? So
I remember getting this movie though as a gift when I was not when I was a kid, but when I was a lot younger, and I loved it. So maybe that's why. But it sounds like if you liked it too, like it wasn't that bad. So
I loved it. I thought it was really good. It got like a ton of spin-offs too. They had like I remember them just having like a ton of. Oh man, I keep screwing this up. I had a ton of spin-offs. So.
Yeah, and I was surprised to see that on Rotten Tomatoes when I typed it in.
There's like 5 of them.
Yeah, I'm like, what?
So there must be a little bit of a cult following. It is definitely got to be a bit of an underrated movie then.
Yeah, I mean, what's cool is it's one of those ones you can rewatch too. It was great, and it's worth rewatching to me. So. But yeah, let me play for a minute. Jesus,
I'm struggling, dude. I haven't played in months because I've just been talking through all the podcasts. So
you and Mike said, "Good choice, Jordan."
Oh yeah, Dad got us into that movie. Dad loved that movie.
Yeah, he did.
That's a good pick. I'm glad you said that.
Thanks,
I like
man.
that one. All right,
And
number.
then Nick Foles also said he screamed behind enemy lines. It looks like because he did it in caps. He said, "Oh man, what a film! So good."
Enemy lines.
Yeah.
Well, we can do the voice for him.
That was exactly it.
Yeah.
How I read like that. And he said he forgot about that movie.
Yeah,
but
dude, that's
he
a
thinks
good
it's a
pick,
one,
man.
too.
I love that. That's
Thanks.
great.
Thanks.
Okay, so my number 6. I
Great success.
debated putting this higher. So I think this is my lowest Rotten Tomatoes. I don't think it's going to be bulletproof. I think 8% is going to win the lowest Rotten Tomatoes of this list between our two. But number 6, Gone in 60 Seconds.
Oh man,
With Nick Cage.
I agree.
I
agree.
love that
100%.
movie.
I loved it too.
And I don't like car heist movies. Like I'm not a big car movie in general. Like I like the first Fast. That one was good. But I love it. And I'm not a huge Nick Cage fan. I mean, he's great in National Treasure. He's great in The Croods, and that's about it for me. But this one was so.
But you didn't like the one in the plane with Nick Cage?
Which one?
We should do a Nick Cage podcast. But the one it was called
Snakes on a Plane? That's
no.
not Nick Cage.
No. Come on, help me out, chat. The one where he's like transporting a criminal, or he is the criminal, and they're transporting him on the plane. That one, I thought it was really good.
And you're for sure it was Nick Cage?
Yeah, 100%.
I don't know.
Yeah, help me out, chat, if you can think of it. I'm sorry, I didn't explain it well enough. It's Con Air. It's called Con Air.
Yeah, I haven't seen that.
And Nick Foles said it right as I said it. So, but you should watch that one. It's actually, I think it's really good. But what I was gonna say was that I am surprised that you like that movie a lot, actually.
Gone in 60 Seconds?
Yeah, but like just because it's kind of an unusual movie for you, from my knowledge of like what movies you're into. Excuse me. But yeah, that's awesome though, because I'm surprised I didn't think of that either, because for sure
I thought you might have
that was
that on the
probably
list.
one of my favorite movies too.
Yeah, I just think it's so good.
That
Angelina
sucks.
Jolie's in it. Nick Cage. I honestly can't. I'm sure I can still watch that movie now, dude, and I like that movie. I think it's way overlooked. A Rotten Tomatoes score of 25 is ridiculous. I think it's entertaining. The soundtrack's super cool. The characters are funny.
The cars are cool.
Yeah, and it's probably just like my 12-year-old self just thought it was like the coolest thing ever that they stole cars overnight in 60 seconds. Like it was just, it was so over the top. Obviously, Nick Cage doesn't know anything other than whispering and yelling, but I loved it. I thought it was perfect. So that's my number 6.
All right, I like it. I love it actually. That's awesome, and I wish I would have added that to mine, but it would have made it harder for me to narrow it down to the 10 for sure. My next one, which would be, what is this? 9, 8, 7, 6, 5. My 5th.
Oh my gosh.
Is, and a lot of people are going to hate me for it, and we have talked about this one as well, because it's in one of my tops for alien movies. Aliens vs. Predators.
Oh gosh.
I know. Everybody bags on me for loving that movie, but I you know what?
Action.
Screw y'all. I love it.
It's fun.
But it only got a 22%, which is kind of expected because nobody I've talked to, like hardly anybody, likes it. But it's crazy. Dude, who stars in it?
I don't know.
Aliens and predators.
Who are those actors?
Yeah. But and the girl in its name is Sana Lathan.
Clearly, we cannot pronounce names. We can't.
That was
read
right.
Names, so
I pronounced it just fine.
you pronounce it just fine.
Yep. Just dandily. Dad just said AVP was better than I expected. Thanks, Dad. I appreciate that. Especially since it really doesn't compare to the Aliens movie.
It's kind of its own thing, isn't it?
I mean, it's related. It's the same aliens, but Ripley, all that.
Yeah.
Those are just classics, and they're better movies. But I liked it. I enjoyed it a lot. My favorite scene is when the alien picks up the predator, stabs the predator.
I haven't seen it.
Oh man.
I haven't seen it.
Well, what happens is he stabs the predator and he turns the predator up towards his face, and he just goes face to face with the predator.
And that's the cover.
It is the cover, but
Yeah.
and then the predator just kind of yells at him. But
That's good. I like it.
it was really good.
Good choice.
I said it was 22%. I was just seeing if I had anything else on it.
Okay, my number 5, because we've talked about that movie before. It's all right.
Yeah, that's true. Sorry.
Number 5, The Secret Life of Walter Mitty. Have you seen that movie?
I have not,
Oh,
and it's funny
so
because
good.
I was gonna say, I was asking a couple of random people, and Chris from our work, he's one of our mechanics. He, said, I was like, "What's your, top underrated movie?" And he said that one.
Oh, really? Secret Life of Walter Mitty?
Yeah, I'm like, that's awesome. I've heard really good things about it, but not a ton about it.
Yeah.
So I could see it being an underrated movie.
I think it's so
50
good. It got
Sorry.
it got 52% on Rotten Tomatoes. It has Ben Stiller and Kristen Wiig as, and that alone should get you to watch it. Ben Stiller and Kristen Wiig. It's really the cinematography is amazing in the movie. He just travels a lot of places. I could just relate to the character a lot. I never read the book, but I heard the book's really good. It's dreamful, and it's got an underdog story, the underdog's journey. And actually, funny enough, the rest of my movies all kind of have an underdog journey. So I think a lot of movies that I really dig are the little guy, making his way in the big world. But I think it's so good. The soundtrack is just awesome. Yeah, Secret Life of Walter Mitty.
For sure.
If you haven't seen it, dude, you really, really have to go see it. It's so good.
I definitely will. I've been wanting to. Life Elevated just said, "Oh, hi." And I believe that's Bree.
Yes, I believe so.
We are actually going to change subjects now that Bree's on. Let's talk about Flat Earth again.
That joke's getting old.
I know. I just have to.
Yeah, Secret Life of Walter Mitty, number 5, loved it. So, Jordan, you got to watch it, dude. You got to watch it.
For sure.
All right, you're number 5. Or no, used to be your number 4, huh? Okay. Getting along the list pretty quick.
And Lame Astronaut does agree with the movie with you because she said that is one of her favorite movies.
Awesome. It's so beautiful. I don't know why it didn't get more credit. It's so good. I mean, maybe because Ben Stiller's in it, and at that time, I think that was one of the more recent serious roles for him. Because he usually is kind of like the goofball, nobody makes me bleed my own blood type of guy. But yeah, I don't know. Anyway,
yeah,
it's fantastic. I think you got a few good votes on our poll. We'll bring up the poll at the end.
What did you say? What did we say it was on Rotten Tomatoes again?
What did we say it was?
Yeah.
It was 52,
52,
which is
nice.
not even close to what it should be.
52 almost seems like it'd be high, but it's really not. And then when you start looking at a bunch of movies, I don't know, I don't know how they judge it. I've never really been a Rotten Tomatoes, I've never looked it up. I wonder what Rotten Tomatoes thinks because I want to see the movie and actually judge it for myself personally.
Yeah. Yeah, I actually don't think Rotten Tomatoes does a very good job, but we are also huge Adam Sandler fans, so that kind of makes sense.
All right, my 4th is Law-Abiding Citizen.
I've never even heard of that movie.
Oh man, Gerard Butler and Jamie Foxx. Basically, what happens is Gerard Butler's family gets somebody breaks into his house and kind of, I don't want to say too much but murders his family basically, but does more. And
more than murders?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's awful. But he So the person goes to trial and gets a sentence, and he ends up getting like this like crap sentence. He ends up getting out at some point after murdering his wife.
Oh, jeez.
And so he goes out on a mission to prove that the justice system is flawed.
Okay.
And it's so good. He basically does the same thing. He kind of like, I don't want to give too much away, but he, commits crimes and he goes to jail, and he like gets out of jail because they have like evidence, but the evidence isn't valid kind of thing.
Yeah.
So it's like they can prove it, but not enough to like hold him in prison. Right. It's so good. I've loved that movie, and it would be definitely up there in my top movies altogether. Yeah, but that
cool.
one got a 26 on Rotten Tomatoes too, which was really disappointing to me. So I definitely don't really like Rotten Tomatoes judgment personally.
Yeah. Well, I guess that's the point of the podcast, right? So
yeah, get rid of that.
All right. Well, my next one, number 4, is Dan in Real Life. Have you seen that one?
Nope.
Oh man.
I know. Oh man.
That crushes my soul.
Yeah.
So Dan in Real Life, 65% on Rotten Tomatoes. It's on Disney Plus. If you haven't seen it, go watch it. It's so great. It stars Steve Carell, Juliette. I don't know how to pronounce her last name for sure, but Juliette Binoche, I believe. It's French. Binoche. Dane Cook and Emily Blunt. Emily Blunt's kind of only featured for just a minute, but cinematography so good. It's about this guy, this father who his wife recently died. He has 3 girls. I can't believe. Yeah, you should watch it, Jordan. Father, his wife dies. He has 3 girls. He goes up on this family trip, and he. I won't give too much away, but there's a love story in there. But there's also like this journey of a father trying to find his way in a world without his wife, and to be like a good dad. And it's just really sweet. Another underdog, journey, family friendly movie. Really like it. So if you haven't seen it, please watch it. It's so good.
I will. I'll definitely check it out. Okay, I guess you can take back over.
I am doing we haven't got 1 star this episode, dude.
And I was like so focused last time.
It's frustrating because I know Carson's gonna make fun of me at work tomorrow, Nick Foles, but I'm usually really good at this game. I'm like, I'm forgetting everything. I'm struggling. It just hasn't been a strong go for me. So anyway, continuing on.
So this one I just watched about a week ago, and it is so good. It was shown to me by McCall, actually.
Okay.
And it was The Man from U.N.C.L.E.
The Man from U.N.C.L.E. I have not seen that one. I've heard of it.
U.N.C.L.E.'s, what's it called? Abbreviated, or
like an acronym?
Yeah, an acronym. Thank you. It stars Henry Cavill, aka Superman. And Army,
also known as the most attractive human being on the planet.
That's what McCall said.
Yeah.
Army Hammer.
You're in for some work then.
Yeah. And then that one rated pretty decent. I mean, not as much as I think it should have been still. 68%. I think it should have been way higher. It was so funny. Such a funny show. And you said you haven't seen it? I've never even...
No, I haven't seen it. Is it R? I'm just trying to think why I wouldn't have seen it.
No, but it's very similar to like a James Bond kind of setup movie.
Like The Kingsman?
Yeah.
You haven't seen The Kingsman?
I haven't seen The Kingsman.
Should put that under underrated movies. Fantastic movie.
I'll have to add it.
It's R though, FYI.
Okay. But this one, There's this scene, and I'm gonna tell you this scene, even though you have to go watch it because you would love it.
Okay.
They're like in like a chase scene. They're getting shot at and stuff. These two guys, and they're behind some boxes, and there's a window in front of them, and behind the window you can kind of see like a body of water.
Okay.
And so they're like, well, I'm going this way. And one of them runs and jumps out the window. And any other like spy movie or whatever action movie, they jump into water from like a high cliff or something like that. Well, you just hear this thud.
He was at the floor level.
He just jumps out below and hits the concrete. And then the other guy follows suit. So he runs and jumps out the window and does the same thing. Hits the concrete. And how they do it is gold, because you totally, in your mind, you're like, oh, it's a great scene. They do a wicked good job with the action in it. And then they spoof it like that. And it's so funny.
Oh man.
Oh man. I know you would love it, dude. I know you would. But yeah, that was my third. That one's really good. If you haven't seen it, please go and watch it. It's so good. It needs to be better rated, in my opinion.
That was your number 3. Oh my gosh. So we're getting down to the nitty gritty.
The nitty gritty.
Okay. So my number 3, this one could have been my number 1. I'm just kidding. I would guess, because I know you really well, Jord. If I was to guess your number 1, and don't give it away, don't tell me until your number 1. This is my guess for your number 1. So it is The Mummy with Brendan Fraser. I think this movie is so underrated. I could watch this movie 100 times. It's so good. It has a 60% on Rotten Tomatoes. This should have 100. I'm willing to go to bat for that movie. I think the whole plot is great.
Mm-hmm.
The mummy's scary, and the action is so good. Brendan Fraser is just a baller. I mean, I think he's awesome anyway, but this was in his like prime, and he has the revolver guns, and he's just blowing mummies' heads off, and it's action. And we watched that movie so much as kids.
Yeah, we did. Yeah.
And it just, when I start asking people about The Mummy, people are always like, "Oh, I haven't seen it, or whatever." And I'm like, "How on earth have you not seen The Mummy? That is literally one of the greatest movies ever created."
I couldn't agree more. More.
Don't tell me where it's at.
No,
I bet it's on your list.
I'm gonna say it is on my list.
We're gonna find out soon, because you're you're on 2 and 1.
I'm on 2 and 1. But I couldn't agree with everything you said about it. I couldn't agree more with everything you said about it.
Some of the scenes
so
are
good.
just when he yells at the mummy.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
And then when he I remember we used to always we'd stock up with guns, like our toy guns. We'd put them in our belts, put them in our shirts, put them wherever we could. We'd have a rifle around our shoulders, our toy guns, and we act out that scene where he's getting chased and he's just unloading his guns, and then he's throwing them after he unloads.
Oh yeah,
them,
because he can't. He's just shooting through him and just throws the guns.
Yeah.
And then the one buddy, the love interest brother, grabs the gun out of his shirt.
Jonathan.
Yeah, Jonathan. Yeah.
Yeah.
Evie. Yeah, dude. Oh man, that movie. We should stop saying show, huh? That movie is just phenomenal. So. I love it. Oh man.
Yeah, Brendan Fraser couldn't have done a better job at it. I mean, all the cast was great in my opinion. I even liked the annoying Jonathan brother kind of thing. I thought they all were perfect in it. And man, it even still holds up with it kind of gives you it kind of creeps you out when they're going through the tombs and stuff, and you're still on edge in my at least I was and I've seen it. Yeah. And that proves in itself that it was a way good movie.
I think I watched it with Bria, and I was like, "You've got to say this movie. Oh my gosh, it's incredible." And I was like, "You've got to see it. It's so good, so good." And she wasn't that impressed with it, and I was just like, this is so sad. This is so sad.
That hurts a little. Well, why don't you tell me your number 2?
Okay.
And then I'll jump into my number 2, so we don't give it away too quick.
Okay, my number 2. You can hang out in this too. My number 2, and I hope we may have the same number 2.
Speaking of the Mummy, we're like playing this level.
Oh yeah, that's kind of cool.
That's cool.
And at least we got 1 star today.
Nice job. Thanks to Matt.
So my number 2 is 79% Rotten Tomatoes. It's another animated movie. It is Surf's Up.
Ooh,
is it on your list?
Nice. No, but
How
that
is
is
on
good.
your list? Oh man, Surf's Up.
I remember it being pretty watched, but by us. But I guess I just didn't think
just,
of it being underrated.
It got overlooked because of like Happy Feet, I think. Well, I don't know. I think it just got overlooked. You got to keep jumping or you'll sink in that sand. I just absolutely love this movie. I think it's so good. It stars Shia LaBeouf, Zooey Deschanel, John Heder, and Jeff Bridges. The soundtrack's so good. It's heartwarming. Again, an underdog story about this penguin from the Arctic that wants to surf, and it's all about penguins, and it's
the big penguin in it is like my favorite part too.
Yeah, he's like, I'll polish. This is my trophy room, and the mom's like,
I go this way.
Are you polishing your trophies again? And he's like, no, Mom, I'm with my friends. I'll polish them later. That movie's just so overlooked. It's so good. Oh man, it's so good. So I love that movie. I think it's fantastic, and I think it is extremely overrated. So underrated. Sorry, definitely
I can
not
agree
overrated.
with you then, but
I just don't think a lot of people have even seen it.
Pretty well known.
I don't think people have seen it. You have to hold on to that the top there.
How do you hold though?
I believe just B. I think.
Yeah.
So yeah. Anyway, that's my number 2. I think it's great. It's funny and it's clever and the soundtrack's awesome, and it's just about this penguin who's trying to become a professional surfer, and he's from the Arctic and he's only surfed like small waves, and it's a good movie. So
it's so good.
You got across now. You don't need it.
I was trying to get the coins. That's
okay.
all. Let me get this chat back up. I'm sorry. Let's see. Okay, my number 2 is the So I Married an Axe Murderer movie.
Oh, I didn't even think of that.
So
That's
underrated.
Such a good
Not
pick.
many people I talk to about it, and I reference it all the time, like recognize or know what I'm talking about. And I'm like, what? Like, you haven't seen that?
That's purely because of our father.
That is. And we were Austin Powers fan. Like, we liked, we really liked Mike Myers. So, it's definitely on my, because of our dad a bit. But dude, that movie is so funny, and it only got a 53% on Rotten Tomatoes, and obviously I said it stars Mike Myers and Nancy Travis, and all I think about the most in that movie is that part where he's talking about the kid's head. Move now.
Look at the size of that boy's noggin.
It's like Sputnik.
It's like an orange on a toothpick. It's got its own weather system.
But went big far on that one, didn't I? Like,
he'll be crying
himself to sleep tonight on his huge pillow.
The way he says huge pillow.
Huge pillow. Yeah, it's so
Got
good.
myself a juice tiger. A juice tiger.
A juice tiger.
Excuse me, miss. I believe there's been a mistake. I believe I ordered the large cappuccino.
Hello. Betty, Josie, and those hot pussycats.
Yeah. Oh my gosh! Everybody's like, I've never seen this movie.
Yeah,
and this is
watch it. Go freaking watch it.
I totally agree with you, Jordan. It is a great movie that's overlooked, and I wish I'm jealous. I'm glad you remembered that, because I'm super jealous that that's your pick.
Thanks, man.
So-
Yeah, Dad's just said best show ever.
Wow.
Movie. That's why we say show, because my dad says show.
I know. People have given me. I've dated girls that like
It's a
lost their
movie.
minds on that. Been like, do not call it a show.
Yeah.
My gosh, I can't get out of
So
this.
have I.
Don't joke because you're on the podcast that you've dated a lot of girls.
Yeah, I've done that. I've also done that.
I know girls that they dated me too. That happened there. Okay, cool. So that's what. Do you want me to do my number one then? Oh my gosh.
Yeah, if you want. We got another first time chatter. I'm gonna move away and read it.
Okay, I'm gonna try and get myself out of the sand trap. Oh, finally. Jeez.
It's Scoopted,
Scooped it.
I believe, and are they using the new SM64 route by Summit Ease?
Nope, don't even know what that is, bro.
No.
If you came on to watch good people play Mario 64, you came onto the wrong podcast, bro.
People playing it.
And that's proof.
That was good.
If you came on to Twitch to watch pros play Mario 64, you are in the
right place.
But if you're here to watch some idiots talk about dumb movies and fail at playing video games, you found the place. So you're welcome here anytime.
The Piper is down. The Piper is down.
Oh man, people on the chat are just like, this episode is so dumb. I don't know anything you're talking about. Okay, cool. My number one then, right? My number one is going to be The Way Back. And I think I forced you to watch this one. So it stars Steve Carell. Steve Carell's like a jerk in it, which is kind of weird for people that love Steve Carell. He usually plays this kind of dumb, funny guy, but he's just an absolute tool.
Is this one you recently told me to watch?
Yeah.
I didn't watch it.
Oh, it's so good, dude. Toni Collette is in it. Anna Sophia Robb, and then Sam Rockwell, who's a super underrated actor. Speaking of underrated things, Sam Rockwell is underrated as an actor. Soundtrack's incredible. It's so funny. Underdog story. It's got a ton of amazing acting. Basically, it's about this young teenage boy who his dad and mom separate, and she's dating a new guy, and the new guy is Steve Carell, and he's just a total D-bag. And they go on he's wealthy, and they go to his summer house. And he doesn't want to be there. He's socially awkward, and the actor who plays it is just great. But he's socially awkward. He struggles in situations where there's people around, and he doesn't want to be there. He wants to be with his dad, and he's mad that he has to be there. And he meets this girl, which is the house next door. And long story short, it's just great. And if you haven't seen it, I believe it's on HBO Max. There is a movie called The Way Back. It's not The Way Back. It's The Way Back. It's kind of got a similar feel of like Dan in the Real Life, indie film, low budget. Sam Rockwell's character is hilarious, and Sam Rockwell plays this character who owns a water park, and the young boy in the movie starts working at the water park, and Sam Rockwell becomes kind of his father figure through the whole process, and it's just really, really great. So I absolutely love that.
I feel like I have seen it. Maybe I did.
I think we started watching it together, but I don't know if we finished it. So that's my number. That's my number one, man. If you guys haven't seen it, it's up there with my favorite movies of all time, and nobody seems to have seen it. So I really, really highly recommend it. It's a very good feel good movie. So that's my number one.
Awesome. You into Mike says Little Miss Sunshine is also a great Carell and Coletta movie.
Yeah, she's in it as well. Both of them are in it, and she's the Steve Carell and Toni Collette play a couple on this movie, The Way Back, and in Little Miss Sunshine, Toni Collette is the mother of the little girl, and Steve Carell's like the crazy brother that just got out of a mental institution. He's a professor. So,
Nick Foles says one of his favorite movies of all time too.
The Way Back or
No, the
Little Miss Sunshine. Yeah.
So.
If you guys like Little Miss Sunshine, go watch The Way Back. It's that vein. It's that indie vibe vein. And I absolutely love it.
I haven't seen Little Miss Sunshine either. So.
Go watch it. So good. So, all right, what's your number one? And then we'll turn to the polls.
As we all know now, my number one is The Mummy. So good guess, Matt.
It was The Mummy.
That's
okay.
awesome. That's awesome. And I don't think we mentioned, I think the Rotten Tomato score is only 46%.
What?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we said that. Oh, The Way
Did
Back
we?
has 84. Sursos has 89. No, you're wrong. It has 60. The Mummy has 60.
Okay, so that now, when I pulled up Rotten Tomatoes, I typed in The Mummy.
It might be the newest Mummy that came out that Tom Cruise was in.
No,
that one got pretty low.
So
ranking.
what I typed in the Mummy and it said The Mummy Returns.
Okay.
But it had on the picture on the cover, it said The Mummy Returns, and it had the cast from The Mummy.
Well, the cast.
And then they
the
also had
cast.
no, because the other one said The Mummy Returns, and it had the actual cast with Dwayne Johnson in it, and the
That's the Scorpion King, isn't it?
No, that's The Mummy Returns.
No, the
and
Mummy
then
Returns.
that's when it introduces the Scorpion King, and
right.
then there's the Scorpion King.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, I don't know what happened, but that's the only one I could find. It said The Mummy Returns, but it had Jonathan, it had all the characters, but it didn't show like.
Yeah, you were looking at The Mummy Returns.
I know, but I couldn't find the Mummy on the one I was searching on RottenTomatoes.com.
Yeah, I just had to Google The Mummy 1999, and it pulled up. It's 60%.
It was weird. I couldn't find it in the whole list of the Mummy movies that they put, and the ones that came up above it, I've never even heard of before, too.
I mean, it sounds like you're just not good at the internet, which isn't.
No,
that's not a healthy thing in today's age.
I did it just fine.
Okay, so tell me about we kind of talked about it, but why is it your number one? That seems just maddening to me.
It's so
not maddening. It's my number 3, but yeah.
It's just a good movie all the way around. It's so good, and I remember playing so much as kids, like pretending to be in that movie.
Yeah,
and I think that's why it sticks so much for me. Because I just. Yeah, I mean, if I was basing a ton of my like childhood like fantasy playtime, on it, like obviously to me it was.
Yeah,
amazing.
we always pretended to be the. It wasn't cops and robbers. It was all of us pretending there was a mummy in the room, and then we would go kill it with our double revolvers.
Exactly.
Well, good number one.
So good. So, and we did. Hint on it. That was like I loved like how cool he looked when he was like loading up with all his guns, and he just plays this. He plays such a like character that you want to be as a kid, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, he's just the coolest dude ever.
Yeah, for sure. So that's crazy though. That's a good guess. And then The Rock, Nick Foles says The Rock as a CGI scorpion still haunts my nightmares.
Yeah, The Rock is not good in that. That would be an overrated actor for me too, as The Rock.
And you into Mike said Jordan needs his mummy. I do.
Needs his
good
mummy.
One.
Is
good one, Dad.
It is good. It's a good movie though. It's fantastic, and I think it's definitely overrated. So, underrated. Sorry.
Senior Shad hopped on and said, "Did you ever see Titan AE? Titan?
No.
Titan AE, I guess. I've never heard of it. So no, I haven't seen it. You haven't heard of it?
No, I haven't heard of it.
I've seen Remember the Titans.
I don't think that's underrated, but that one is. Okay, cool. Well, let's do the poll real quick. We're kind of getting to the end of the episode, so we put up a poll. Thank you all that voted. We had a good turnout on votes, so we appreciate everybody that voted. We'll go down the movies. Oh, honorable mentions. We should just go over those real quick. We're getting caught up.
I kind of was deleting as I go to try to adjust it, and so I wouldn't like want to keep bringing them back on and off. So I didn't even keep many honorable mentions.
So I'll just do the ones that haven't been met. Well, Atlantis we talked about. Edge of Tomorrow. I'm surprised that didn't make your list. I thought that'd make your list.
So it was going to. Kind of a reason I pushed it out is we've touched base with it.
Yeah, we talked a lot.
I already
about it.
had an Alien movie that we touched base with as well, and I didn't want to keep repeating for you guys. But that definitely was an underrated movie.
Yeah.
In my opinion.
The other two that were on this list were Fantastic Mr. Fox. The only reason that didn't make mine was because I think a lot of people have heard of that one, but if you haven't, it's a Wes Anderson film. It's like one of his few animated ones, and it's really, really good. I think it's his best film. And then Yesterday, which is like the Beatles one, where a guy wakes up and there's no Beatles music, like no one knows who the Beatles are, and so he like recreates these Beatles songs. And I just think it's really heartwarming. Another chick flick. I just felt like I had too many chick flicks on there, but really good. Loved it. So those are my honorable mentions.
Awesome. Mine was, I feel like Austin Powers. I actually know, like, I feel like a lot of people haven't actually watched them, which is surprising to me because they were such a big part of us.
Yeah, it was our childhood.
But
going and watching those back as adults, and Dad will probably give us crap on the chat right now. But when I went back and watched Austin Powers, The Spy Who Shagged Me, in the second movie, as an adult, I was like, what on earth were my parents thinking? This is the raunchiest movie I've ever seen. But it's really funny. Super good.
It is good. And then another one, is Rush Hour.
Oh, yeah. Rush Hour is fantastic.
And just the first. I didn't really... The second one was all right, but I didn't really care. I thought that one was really funny, and I liked it, so I think it was pretty underrated.
Okay, cool. So here's the list on the poll, and we'll see who got the most votes. So The Village, I loved The Village. I think it's underrated as a movie. Everyone thought it'd be like a horror movie, and it wasn't. It's more of like a thriller, but I really liked that movie. Treasure Planet, which we talked about. Robin Hood Men in Tights. That got a lot of votes. Love that one. Super funny comedy. The Secret Life of Walter Mitty. Warrior. Have you ever seen that? It's about the boxers, the retired boxers. It's really good. It's got Tom Hardy in it.
No, but talking about boxers, I feel like another underrated one is the Rock'em Sock'em Robots one.
Oh, yeah. I know what one you're talking about with Hugh
Metal,
Jackman in it.
Was it called? Yeah. It was like something metal.
Steel metal.
Still
Something.
Something like that. Yeah. I felt like that
I bet
was
the chat's
also one.
freaking out right now about what it is. We have Edge of Tomorrow, Dan in Real Life, 50-50. It's a really good one with Joseph Gordon-Levitt. Drive with Ryan Gosling. It's an R, but I have seen that one back in my day, and that one's really good. About Time, Yesterday, What If, Paranorman. That one, when we do our top 10 Halloween movies, will be on my list. Paranorman is fantastic, and I feel like no one's seen it. So this holiday season, if you haven't seen it, it's usually on Netflix every Halloween, and it's really good. It's animated, really good animation. The Mummy, which was a top 3 for me and a top 1 for Jordan. The Nice Guys. I've never seen this one, but it was on everybody's list. When I talked to people said The Nice Guys, another Ryan Gosling movie. Heard it's really funny. The Peanut Butter Falcon was a great movie. Didn't make my top list. Emperor's New
Still.
What? Real Still.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay.
Thank you, chat.
The Emperor's New Groove was on here. I didn't put that on there, not because I didn't love it. I love it. I absolutely love Emperor's New Groove. It's fantastic. It's one of the best Disney movies. But I just think everybody who I know, if you catch that bunny, by the way, you get a star. So you should try getting that.
Okay.
But every single person who watches Emperor's New Groove loves it. They absolutely love it. And yeah, so I think it's just great. And I didn't put it on there though because I felt like it wasn't that underrated. I think everybody loves that movie. And then a couple add-ins. I thought there'd be more add-ins. We had a lot of votes, but I thought there'd be more add-ins. So maybe we did a good job at the movies we put on there. But Flatliners, the 1990 version,
so good.
It's just that movie scared me when I was a kid, dude.
Yeah, it freaked me out too.
Freaked me out.
What the?
If you haven't seen it, it's about basically these group of scientists like bring some people back to life, and they start having like paranormal activity and stuff, and weird things transpire with ghosts and stuff. It's really good. And then yours, which I'm so bummed I didn't have on my list, is So I Married an Axe Murderer. It was a write-in by Dad too. So really good movie. So drum roll for the winner. So we'll do the top 3.
Another one we should have added is Chicken Run. Dad just mentioned.
Oh, Chicken Run! There's so many good animated ones.
That one too.
That's a good one, Dad. I would have. Yeah, that one's great. Chicken Run's awesome. Okay, so let's go with the third. It's a tie for number 3, I believe. For number 3, let's see. Yeah, it is a tie. So number 3 is a tie between The Mummy and Edge of Tomorrow. So on the poll, Edge of Tomorrow and The Mummy got number 3. There's a tie between number 2, which is Robin Hood Men in Tights, which wasn't on either of the lists, and The Secret Life of Walter Mitty. So a lot of people agree that that movie's underrated. And the winner, which should probably come as no surprise, I feel like at this point, with the most votes, it crushed it. It was Emperor's New Groove. And Emperor's New Groove had 21% of the votes. So thank you, everybody that voted. As always, we've gone over a little bit with the movies. We always start out slow, and we got to get right to it next time when we have our next top 10 countdown. So thank you, everybody who stayed on, who voted on our Facebook group. If you are a listener and you have a Facebook page, or create one and come at our Facebook group at Super Davis Bros. And we do polls on there all the time, and I hope more people, like right now it's just me and Jordan posting, but anyone on there, you're more than welcome to post anything, on there. And
video games or something you think of for one of the podcasts you listen to.
Yeah,
or
if you have comments or
put it
ideas,
on there, we'd love that actually. Or maybe clips or something. Favorite clips, if you can pull up clips from movies you like or something like that. Those are cool things.
Yeah,
we'd
put
love
up your
to
own
see.
top 10. We'd love to. I liked asking people about this topic.
This one was huge for me too.
It was so fun because I got a whole bunch of new movies that I want to watch, and I hope the same goes for those of you listening right now, that our top 10 list opens up some new movies for you to enjoy. So I had a lot of fun. Did you have a lot of fun, Jordan?
I did have a lot of fun.
Yeah. So next week we have a really fun, dorky episode coming up, but we have an amazing guest, our biggest guest yet, coming on. Next week we will be Jordan knows absolutely nothing about football. And the football season is slowly creeping up on us. So I'm a huge football fan, and Jordan is not at all. So I thought it would be hilarious to have him guess. We're going to show, I saw this on like a TikTok, and we're going to do it with Jordan, where I'm going to show him all the logos of the NFL teams, and he's going to guess the city and name of the teams. And he literally knows nothing about football. And we're going to make it fun for those on the podcast that can't see the logo. We're going to do a couple things to make sure that it's still fun for those listening. We have some ideas. So still tune in if you just listen. But for those on the Twitch, it should be fun. He's not going to be able to watch the comments on this one because we don't want people giving it away. And our guest for the episode is none other than Eagles MVP, Super Bowl winning quarterback, Nick Foles. Nick Foles is going to be joining us. So
he plays football?
Yeah. You've embarrassed me in front of my friends. Why didn't you correct me? It was baseball.
This whole time I thought it was a soccer player.
So thank you all. Tune in next week for NFL logos, and we'll probably put a poll up. Jordan won't be allowed on the Facebook group just to say which logo you think is the coolest. And again, write in superdavisbros@gmail.com, and we will see you all next week. Thank you so much.
Real quick, sorry, Shad just said something at the end. He asked us to post our lists on the FB page, the Facebook page.
Oh, that's a good idea. We should do that every time.
Yeah. We'll try to do that for sure.
Yeah, we'll
That's
do
a
it
good
for sure.
idea. Thanks. We appreciate that kind of input. But yeah, thanks again, guys, for the chat. Was awesome, full of people throwing stuff back and forth. So.
For those of you listening that don't know, maybe just come across us because we have some listeners from all around the world, surprisingly already. Which thank you. If you're listening, we have a pretty big following in Belgium and in Germany and in a couple other pretty. I don't know. It's crazy. But for those of you listening, if you want to tune in, we stream live on Twitch and YouTube at Super Davis Bros every Tuesday at 8 p.m. So sometimes it's a little later if we struggle
Easy way
to
to
get on
find
time.
us is just Googling Super Davies Bros. We actually,
Oh, really?
I think, we come up pretty close to the top of it. So that must mean we're number one.
Or nobody's as super as us. We're super
You
duper.
don't get more super than us.
All right, we've gone on too long.
We have. So, but thanks, guys. That
Thank
was a
you,
fun
guys.
chat.
Yeah.
Fun podcast. You guys have a good one.
See ya.